Okay, so you're really trying to get a handle on this whole RoleCatcher thing for your job hunt.
Sounds like you want to figure out how it works.
Yeah, and more importantly, how it can actually help someone like you land a job.
It's definitely a jungle out there.
Right. And it seems like you're particularly interested in how RoleCatcher uses AI.
Yeah, and you know what's fascinating about that?
What's that?
Well, it's how RoleCatcher seems to recognize this huge shift we're seeing in how companies are hiring these days.
You mean with automation?
Exactly.
Yeah, one of the articles you said actually called it a lottery now.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of scary, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see why you'd feel that way.
It almost feels like it's out of your hands.
In a way it is because, see, in the past, you'd send out your resume and it would go straight to, like, a hiring manager.
Right, to a person.
Right, an actual human being.
Yeah.
But now, most of the time, your resume is going through this thing called an applicant tracking system.
An ATS.
Yeah, exactly, an ATS.
So it's like a computer program.
It's a program that filters applications based on certain keywords and skills listed in the job description.
So even if you're the perfect candidate, if you haven't used the exact right wording,
Exactly.
your resume might never even be seen by a real person.
Unfortunately, that's the reality now.
It's kind of disheartening.
It is. And that's where this idea of tailoring your CV comes in.
Which RoleCatcher talks about a lot.
A lot.
So they're saying it's not enough to just list your skills and experience.
It's not just about what you say, but how you say it.
You have to like speak the language of these ATS systems.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay, so how do you even do that?
Well, that's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in.
So they analyze job descriptions
Hmm.
looking for these keywords and phrases.
Right. They try to figure out what's going to make your application stand out to those systems.
Okay, but is it really that simple?
Wow.
Can you just plug in a few keywords and call it a day?
It's definitely a bit more nuanced than that.
I figured.
Think of it more like this. Imagine you have an assistant who can look at hundreds of job descriptions,
Wow.
similar to the one you're interested in, and then they tell you,
Yeah.
these are the skills and experiences that are mentioned the most.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's essentially what RoleCatcher's AI is doing for you.
So it's giving you like a shortcut.
It's more about helping you prioritize what to focus on in your CV.
So it's not about replacing your own judgment.
No.
It's more like having a really, really good research assistant.
Exactly, a super-powered research assistant.
I like that.
You're still the one in control. You're crafting your own CV.
Right.
But RoleCatcher is there to guide you.
To give you an edge.
Exactly. It helps you figure out what's going to resonate most with those ATS systems.
And hopefully with the hiring manager, too.
Right. Ultimately, they're the ones making the final decision.
That's a good point.
But getting past that initial screening is crucial.
Makes sense. Now, something else that really stood out to me about RoleCatcher,
What's that?
their interview prep. They have 120,000 interview questions.
That's a lot of questions.
That's a lot. It's a little overwhelming, actually.
It can feel that way, but here's the thing.
Okay.
That huge number actually becomes really valuable because of the AI.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's not about memorizing answers to 120,000 different questions.
Or that would be impossible.
It would be impossible.
Yeah.
It's more about recognizing the patterns in those questions.
The patterns.
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of patterns are we talking about?
So imagine this.
Okay.
The AI looks at all of those thousands of questions, and it starts to see common themes,
Okay.
common structures, even like subtle differences in phrasing.
So it's not just about the specific question, but the intent behind it.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it uses all of that data to give you not only relevant practice questions,
Oh, that's helpful.
but also personalized feedback on your answers.
Wait, so you mean it analyzes how I'm answering the questions?
Exactly. It looks at how you structure your responses, your tone, even things like that.
Wow, so it's like having an interview coach in your pocket.
That's a great way to put it.
It's like 24/7 feedback.
Exactly.
Amazing.
It can be really helpful because it helps you identify those little things.
Like-
Like maybe you have some nervous tics when you're talking.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe you could be more concise in your answers.
Or maybe I just need to sound more confident.
Exactly, things like that.
That's so much better than just reading generic tips online.
Right, because it's tailored to you.
It's like having a personalized analysis of my interviewing style.
And that ties into a larger point about RoleCatcher.
Mm-hmm. What's
So-
that?
They get it.
Get what?
They understand that landing a job is about so much more than just having the right skills on paper.
Right. It's about showcasing those skills effectively.
Exactly. It's about presenting yourself in the right way.
Yeah, and that actually reminds me of another thing that RoleCatcher offers.
What's that?
Their career guides.
Oh, right.
They have over 3,000 of them.
That's a lot of guides.
It's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, what could they possibly cover?
Well, I think it shows that RoleCatcher is trying to be more than just a job board.
More than just helping you find a job.
Right. It's like they want to help you figure out what you actually want to do with your life.
So it's about finding a career that you're passionate about.
Exactly. Not just taking the first job that comes along.
Which is so important.
It is, because you're going to be spending a lot of time at work.
Might as well enjoy it, right?
Exactly. And I think it's interesting how they're using data even for this.
What do you mean?
Well, instead of just giving you generic career advice,
Right.
they're probably using data from millions of job postings and career paths.
To give you more personalized recommendations.
Exactly. It's like having a crystal ball.
But instead of predicting the future, it's showing you potential career paths you might never have even thought of.
Right. And speaking of data,
Okay.
let's talk about some of the more practical tools RoleCatcher offers.
Like what?
Well, remember how we talked about the importance of tailoring your CV and how time-consuming that can be?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they have this browser plugin called RoleCatcher Capture,
Right. I read about that.
and it basically lets you save jobs from anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah, like LinkedIn, Indeed, company websites.
Directly to your RoleCatcher account.
Exactly. So it's like a central hub for all your job leads.
That's pretty handy.
It is, because it saves you so much time.
No more copying and pasting job descriptions.
Exactly. And it gets even better.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. So once you've saved a job,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's AI will actually analyze the job description
Okay.
and tell you which version of your CV has the highest match.
So you can see right away which version is most likely to get past those ATS systems.
Exactly. You got it.
That's really smart.
It is. And it just shows how RoleCatcher is trying to make the whole job search process smoother and less stressful.
I like that. And one more thing I wanted to ask you about.
Sure. What's that?
This Get Discovered feature.
Oh, yeah.
It almost seems like they're flipping the script on traditional job hunting. Well, instead of you applying to jobs,
Right.
employers can actually search for you.
Exactly. It's like having a recruiter working for you 24/7.
So they look at your skills and experience.
And if they like what they see, they can reach out to you directly.
Wow. So the jobs come to you.
That's the idea.
That's pretty amazing.
It is, but of course it depends on how many employers are actually using the feature
That's true.
and how well RoleCatcher's algorithms are actually matching candidates with opportunities.
Right. It's not a guarantee.
No, but it's definitely an interesting new way to get noticed.
It's like they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
But getting to that who is a lot easier when you have a tool like RoleCatcher connecting the dots.
I think that's a great way to put it.
And that reminds me of something you said earlier
What's that?
about how RoleCatcher seems to understand that technology is only one part of the puzzle.
Right. They talk a lot about the importance of the human element.
Yeah, even with all this AI and automation.
Exactly, because at the end of the day,
Yeah,
it's your skills, your experience, your personality.
the things that make you unique.
Exactly. Those are the things that are going to actually land you the job.
No algorithm can replace that.
Exactly. You can't just become a robot and expect to get hired.
So it's about finding that balance.
Right. Using these tools to understand the rules of the game.
But then bringing your authentic self to the table.
Exactly. And I think that's really what RoleCatcher is all about.
It's not about creating some fake version of yourself
Right. It's about using these tools to highlight your strengths.
and ultimately find a career that's actually a good fit for you.
Exactly. Because it's your career.
So your journey.
And only you can decide what that looks like.
So as we wrap things up here,
Yeah.
what's the takeaway for our listeners?
Well, I think the biggest thing to remember is that there's no magic bullet when it comes to job hunting.
Right. RoleCatcher isn't going to do all the work for you.
Exactly. It takes effort. It takes strategy.
And yeah, a little bit of luck never hurts.
Exactly. But RoleCatcher does give you some powerful tools.
It's like having a secret weapon,
In a way.
but you still have to be the one to use it effectively.
Exactly. So as you explore RoleCatcher and all it has to offer,
Yeah.
think about how you can use these tools to take control of your job search.
And navigate this crazy job market.
It's your career, your future.
We hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and the confidence to take that next step.